This video is sponsored by Whale Street. Whale Street is the DeFi engine that powers NFT economics at a massive scale. It engineered B20, the largest ever NFT bundle containing 20 Beeple NFTs, fractionalizing it into the B20 token. The B20 buyout bundle option is now live. Anyone with 5% of the overall supply of B20 tokens can now bid to buy the entire bundle. Check it all out at b20.metaverse.fund. Thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So I've been a little tardy in doing my monthly roundups. So I'm going to sort of do a roundup for what happened in February, and we're almost through March already. So this basically takes us up to date. So this is the most popular blockchain games data from DappRadar. Basically here I'm looking at games with over 1,000 daily active unique wallets. So a bit of a caveat about this. What we're looking at here is on-chain activity. So various different blockchains that these games run across, and basically what we're looking at is transactions that are hitting those blockchains, that are actually being recorded in those blocks. So lots of games have centralized aspects to them that are not running on the blockchain. A good example here is Axie Infinity, this kind of teal dot here. So what we're measuring here is just people trading in the marketplace and breeding axes. There's not a lot of that going on at the moment because gas fees are high on Ethereum. And actually, if you're fighting battles, then that all happens off-chain. That will eventually move to their own Ronian sidechain, which is kind of rolling out. But that's not live yet, and we haven't got any data for that. So just kind of bear that in mind. It's particularly the case for Axie Infinity, where we can't check their data, but occasionally they tweet out how many people are playing the game, particularly on Android devices. So you can get it on Android or through TestFlight on iOS, or also browser. So you can do that battling through those platforms. You don't touch the blockchain, and they've probably got if we added in those figures as well, they'd be up here. They've got about 15,000 at the moment, I think, figures I've seen at least. But that's not on-chain data, so that's not what we're measuring here. So this is just on-chain data, and obviously different blockchains work in different ways. So we Ethereum still proof of work, so it's a different sort of transaction than these other chains which are based on EOS and Wax. So what's going on here? So we can kind of see our old favourite Splinterlands, which for a long time, for most of 2020, was the most popular blockchain games, very steady, around 6,000 daily active unique wallets running on the Hive blockchain. And we can see here, so every dot here is a day, vertical scale is daily active unique wallets. So we can see here that the kind of typical characteristic spike every 2 weeks. So every tournament in Splinterlands lasts 2 weeks, and the higher you get up the leaderboards, the more rewards you get. So you tend to find this spike at the end of each tournament ends. People then tend to kind of play more to get higher up the leaderboard. So we kind of get these spikes, and then it drops down again to a kind of around the 6,000 level. It's actually very steady. So that's kind of pretty much stayed the same. We've actually here in March, we've actually seen a bit more of a spike up here. So we hit over 7,000 daily active unique wallets on this day here. The game has also done some tweaks, so it's giving out more cards for people to play. So it's kind of making it a bit more exciting to play, because you're getting access to cards that you don't own. They're not your cards on the blockchain, but you're getting access to a kind of higher level of cards. So that's a bit more exciting. That may be behind this. But what we see here is that two games have back in January actually really kind of broken through and become the most popular game, and are still growing in a quite active manner. So in green here we have Upland. Upland is a mobile game running on the EOS blockchain. Because it's a mobile game, it kind of has a slightly restrictive sort of blockchain element to it, because any payments have to go through Apple's or Google's payment system. So there is sort of complications around that that they're working around, but we can see here it started the year. This graph starts in November, but it started the year at basically zero. It kind of launched, went open, kind of open beta in March, and we can see here it has been growing. So 2,000 up to kind of 4,000 here at the start of January. And then very quickly we've gone up to getting on for 16,000 daily active unique wallets a day. This is partly, I think, because they're rolling out more kind of cities and onboarding more people, and they're doing kind of opening up their economy. So now you can sell items in the game for US dollars and cash that out. It's still fairly limited, I think. It's not like an open economy as you would have in many blockchain games, but obviously that's kind of driving interest. It has its own version of NFTs. NFTs are super hot at the moment, so I guess that's kind of increasing it as well. And they are doing more marketing. So because it is a game that you can just download through an app store, they have kind of not an easy, but they have a more straightforward way of marketing and driving downloads. So obviously they need to be able to making sure they're making money off those. They can't just be spending marketing money and not getting any money from the developers, otherwise from the players, or they just go bust, they'll use up all the money. But they have some levers there that other blockchain games don't have quite so easily. So that's impressive. I guess equally interesting, coming from zero here, is Alien Worlds. So Alien Worlds has basically just gone off like a rocket. It's the gradient kind of dropped down a bit here in early Feb, but now it's kind of gone up again. A bit more volatility than Upland. So Alien World is running on the Wax blockchain, which is a version of the EOS blockchain. And what's interesting about this is it's an idle game, so it's not very exciting to play, to be totally honest. It's very easy to log in. You can just log in with the Wax wallet, which is an email, password, wallet. You can use your social logins to log in. So it's very easy to log in, and basically you just start playing, and you basically are mining in this kind of space planet world. These planets, you go to a planet and you start mining this token. They have an in-game cryptocurrency called Trillium, and every 5 minutes or so you can mine some Trillium. Depends how much you can mine, depends kind of on the NFTs you've bought and equipped. So that obviously the more money you kind of invest in buying good NFTs, the more Trillium you earn. Trillium is a cryptocurrency running on the Wax blockchain. You can cash it out for Wax, and then cash that out for whatever you want. Take it off the exchange and swap it for Bitcoin, whatever, or cash it out for dollars. The amounts are very small, so it's pretty hard to be actually making money from this game, I would imagine. I would also imagine, because it's running on the EOS blockchain, that there's tons of bots on it. So on Splinterlands, there are definitely bots. I never had a good idea of how many. On Alien Worlds, particularly, again, because it's a idle gameplay, so you're just basically pressing buttons and waiting around. I imagine there are tons of bots on there. So how seriously to take this sort of growth. And it's something we do see on EOS a lot, that you can see blockchain games on EOS can get very strong growth, and they can hold that for a while, but over time, what you tend to find is the economy basically crashes, because the bots sort of soak up all the tokens that are out there. They dump it onto the market. The price of the tokens dumped, and no one wants to play the game. So that'd be something to look at for Alien Worlds. Alien Worlds is a bit different. That it has a decent NFT system, which most EOS doesn't really have that at the moment. So that's interesting that Wax has an NFT system. So maybe Alien Worlds can kind of get around the problem with the tokens, or often the problem with the tokens that happens. The other thing is Alien Worlds, there's large aspects of the game that aren't finished yet. So particularly the PvP element isn't around yet. That will add something, probably drive more usage. Again, that can probably be bots will be able to play that as well. So what if that solves any problems around bots? I don't know. But we will wait and see what happens with Alien Worlds. But it's interesting to see that for a long time 6,000 was the kind of the highest level we saw for daily active unique wallets, and now we've had two games roughly at the same time going very quickly through 6,000 and not looking like they're kind of stopping anytime soon. So maybe we'll hit 20,000. Who knows? What else have we got? We've got Crypto Dynasty. So Crypto Dynasty was at one point the most popular blockchain game with about 5,000 daily active unique wallets. Occasionally it did go over 6,000-7,000 about a year ago. That's basically seems to have followed this trend that EOS games have, where the economy just explodes and then it basically goes into large-scale decline. So it's dropped from 1.6 thousand daily active unique wallets, now under 2, heading for 1. That game looks like it's kind of dead now. Well, no, it's not dead. It's got 1,000, but it's not, it's going to be quite hard to resurrect that. Similarly for Prospectors, so Prospectors runs on the EOS blockchain and the Wax blockchain. I've just added the figures together. It's actually now doing a lot better on the Wax blockchain than the EOS blockchain, but both of them are although the EOS version is definitely in quite strong decline. The Wax version seems to be holding up a bit better, but again, this is a game that hasn't been growing for a while. Let's have just a very quick look at the trailing 30-day average. So instead of a dot being every day, now we're drawing lines, and these are smoothed out. So every dot that makes up this line is the average of the last 30 days. So effectively that day plus the last 29 days. So it basically gives us a rolling average, so we can kind of see trends a bit more easily, and we can kind of see Splinterland's growth. So Splinterlands is still growing on that kind of 30-day rolling average, just not by much. We can see Prospectors is kind of done is undulated up and down, and is heading down again. Upland and Alien Worlds have just gone through the roof. We can see Upland has the kind of stronger growth at the moment, but actually the gradient's pretty much the same, really. But yeah, it's just going straight up. What else we got? Axie Infinity goes up and down a little bit depending on gas prices, which are again extremely high. And Crypto Dynasty has basically gone from 4,500, just gently heading down to at least probably under 1,000. So that's what's going on in the blockchain game space. Before we go, let's have a quick look at value, because value, I don't often look at it, but I think it's worth having a look at. Okay, so I've just hopped onto DappRadar, and I've ranked this list by the volume, the trading activity over the last 24 hours, and we can see some different sort of games have come in here. And these are, interestingly, all games based on Ethereum, because Ethereum has the big NFT standard and has the big crypto traders on. So although EOS and Wax have more popular games in terms of sort of daily activity, they don't have such a strong or such deep liquidity in terms of NFT trading. So F1 Delta Time is doing some very big individual trades, some big cars and or expensive cars and tracks and stuff like that. So we have $650,000 over the last 24 hours. So Rare, a game. Here we can see here the users in the last 24 hours is very small, so hundreds of users. So Rare is a fantasy football, fantasy soccer game where you own the cards of players and you make five-a-side teams and you can win more cards. So $600,000 in the last 24 hours. Axie Infinity, we know about Axie. Some of those Axie NFTs are very expensive, and we have some of these. These are Mooncap rescues in the game, actually. More kind of project. Zed Run, a horse racing game on the Matic blockchain. I mean, that's getting much smaller now, 24,000. Let's have a look at the last 7 days, see how that changes things. So Rare, 3.5 million. Axie Infinity, 2.1 million. F1 Delta Time, almost 1 million. Gods Unchained seems to have be resurrecting itself. Its sidechain's going live soon. The Immutable X sidechain, so maybe that's why people are starting to speculate a bit more on those. CryptoKit is still there. And last 30 days, So Rare again done incredibly large sums, $23 million worth of trading of those NFT cards. Axie Infinity, 9.5 million. This NFT box isn't a game; it's a weird thing on the Binance Smart Chain, so I'm going to ignore that. CryptoKit is kicking back into gear as that prepares to go onto the Flow blockchain, $4 million, and a few other kind of more kind of collectible projects. But again, the thing to point out here is fairly over 30 days. I mean, that's a larger number of users because you're adding up every day, sort of thing. But over in terms of that, there are fewer people playing So Rare over 30 days than there are playing Upland or Alien Worlds over a day. So that kind of gives you the scale. But if you look at value, if you look at where rich crypto people are investing their money, they're not investing those in the Wax or EOS games. They're investing those in ETH games, even though there's many fewer players, at least in terms of on-chain activity. And everything on So Rare is not everything is on-chain, but the trading of cards is on-chain. So that's what we're measuring there. So there we go. It is interesting, I guess, that in 2021 we have seen a big uptick in almost all forms of crypto. Certainly crypto prices have boomed. We've seen this kind of boom in NFT valuations, mainly on the art NFT side, but not only that. And I guess to some degree that is also reflecting through on the valuation of some of these NFTs that work in games. So hopefully we'll see that continuing, but we will wait to see what happens over the next few months. Certainly some big things launching, I think, that will maybe surprise us. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World, keeping our ears to the I'm going to say to the ears to the grindstone. That's not right, is it? Keeping our ears to the ground of what's going on in the world of blockchain games. Please subscribe to the channel if you like that stuff. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.